Hello guys, welcome to Solving Solutions. On today's tutorial, we are going to use MATLAB to solve this system of linear equations. So MATLAB is actually very good. And hello guys, welcome to Solving Solutions. On today's tutorial, we are going to show you how to use MATLAB to solve system of linear equations. So we have about 3 equations here, and then the first one had already been solved on the channel using another means, so we are going to validate the result we'll get, and then we'll now solve for the other two. Right now, if you look at the equation, you see that we have 3 unknowns, and then we also have 3 equations. Right now, for every equation, you know that there is always the unknown, there are coefficients of the unknown, and then we have the constant. Right, so it goes with this general formula that says ax equal to b, where a represents what the coefficients of the unknown, x represents the unknown, and then b represents what the constant. So if we look at example 3, for instance, the coefficient of x is 4, that of y is -2, and then that of z is 3, and then we have the constant of 12 on the right hand side. So if we come to the second equation of this particular system, that of x is 1, that's the coefficient of y here is 5, and then the coefficient of z here is what, -1. So what we are going to do is that we are going to form, or we are going to write matrices of each of these elements. Right, good, the a, the b, of which we are now going to get what, x from it. Right, so now let's come to MATLAB. Now you type editor, or maybe if you have the editor window, you just click on it, and then it takes you to this interface where you can, it takes you to the editor window where you can type what, your commands. Right, so the first of which we are looking at is equation 1, which has 2x plus 3y minus z equal to 5. Right, good. So we are going to type all of these out, and then we continue from there. Okay, so we have been able to type all of them. So this is for equation 1. You can see 2, 3 minus 1. If we come back here, you are going to see 2, 3 minus 1. Right, good. Now take note of something. Each of the rows are separated by what, a semicolon. Right, so this a now represents this our A matrix here, because that's the matrix of what, the coefficient. So we have 2, 3 minus 1, 4 minus 1, 2, and -1, 2, and 3. Right, so if you come down here, you are also going to see 2, 3 minus 1, 4 minus 1, 2, and then -1, 2, and 3. Right, and then b represents what, the constants that we have on the right hand side. So you can see 5, 6, and 7. Right, good. So what we are now going to do is that we are going to see that C, which will now contain our x, you can call it any name, will now be a divided by what, b. Right, good. Now on, or in MATLAB, the backslash is preferred for division to the /. Right, so that's for the first equation. We'll run it, and then we'll see the answer. And then for the second equation, we did similar stuff. You have 3, 2, and -1. Those are the coefficients on equation 1. Right, good. So we have 3, 2, and -1. So we have 3, 2, and -1. So if you look closely, we used a different pattern from the first one. Here we have used the next line to write the other values of the coefficient. However, we wrote all here on the same line. Right, good. And then also note that we have the square bracket, which we have used to what, define the matrices. And then after each of the line, we have suppressed them using the semicolon. This semicolon simply means that this particular line should just wait until we get to the last instruction, right? Good. So it's not going to run. That's what it actually means. And then for the second equation, which is for the unknowns, if you also come closely, you will see 8, 7, and 13. And then this 8, 7, and 13 represents the unknown. So instead of writing it vertically here, we wrote it horizontally. However, note that the semicolon means it's going on a new line. So it's already known, right? Good, in the code. So the last one is equation 3, which we have extracted the coefficients 4 minus 2, 3. We have 4 minus 2, 3, and then we also have all the constants, right? Good. So now we have said that each of the equations should be stored. The first one will be stored as C, the second one will be stored as solution 1, and then the third one will be stored as what? Solution 2, right? Now I think there is a prompt here about indentation. Okay, so let's run. So we've navigated to the folder we want to store the code. So we call this equations. So we call this simultaneous equations. Okay, so you can now see the results for C, which is for equation 1. You see 1.046476. If we come down here, we have 1.0476, 1.5238. We also have 1.5238, and then 1.6667. We also have 1.6667. So this first equation has been validated. So we now look at the solutions to the other two equations, right? So it means that for equation 2, or for question 2, let's use that. For question 2, our x is 1.4286, y is 2.7143, and then z is 1. So basically we have shown you how to use MATLAB to write a very simple code for you to solve simultaneous equations. So we are going to check if the values that we have gotten are correct in the next tutorial, whereby we are going to substitute these values into the equations to see if it's going to give us what? The values on the right hand side, right? Good. So until then, keep staying safe and have a fantastic time. Bye.